back to the Dominic Natty Show on Intellectual Radio in Chicago and iHeartRadio and Instagram Live. And I've been telling you about our special guest. It's his second time on the show. He's back, and it's the man himself, the campaign manager to the stars. Joshua Dial is with us today. Joshua, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. All things considered, I was recently in a wreck this last week, totaled my car. But I've got some good friends that helped me out, and I'm just ready for the Tiger King Uncaged tour to really start going. Traveling across the country, talking about the stuff that didn't make it into season one, and if there's a season two coming soon, then talk about that as well. So, I'm not saying there is, but who knows, right?
That's right. That's right. Keep the cliffhangers. Hello, Kelly. Okay, so now you were in a wreck, and if I understood from what I saw, you were looking for. Now, what are you smoking? Weed?
Yeah, I've got a local dispensary. If I wear their masks, because I've got their face mask that's got their logo, they hook me up with these really sweet pre-rolls that are really good for like calming me down. So I'm able to kind of. Normally my head just runs a million miles an hour, and these are actually really amazing. I'll show the crowd if it's allowed. I don't know.
Yeah. No, that's fine.
So it's here in Oklahoma. Yes, I have my medical card, but it's a dose pre-roll. And these things are absolutely amazing. Look at the THC content if you're a smoker, guys. 51% raw joint. I mean, these things are just insane. So, but, they help me with a lot of things. So I'm going to go ahead and light this up and smoke if that's allowed,
Yeah, let's do it. Let's get stoned. I'll smoke my cigar.
Second-class citizen. But, Hey, if I can do it on Netflix, I can do it on Instagram.
That's right. Yeah, smoking is allowed. I mean, I don't know if cigars, cigarettes, weed, meth, whatever you want to smoke.
No meth for me. No.
Okay, so you did say you were in a wreck recently. Now, if I saw correctly, was it true? Were you looking for financial support from that wreck? Is that what you were asking people?
Yeah, I mean, I was, and I got that support. So, I have a lot of people to be thankful for. I mean, hoping from here on that things will get better. What I did is I bought $1,000 car with the help of some friends, and it turned out to be a lemon. And I've yet to get that thing back. So I don't know what's going on. So yeah, I was asking for financial support, but right now I'm on Cameo. So the best thing and you can really do, and it'd be a great Christmas present. I usually do my cameos in front of a Christmas tree, my little ghetto Christmas tree I've got. But book me on Cameo. Just look up Joshua Dial on Cameo, or type in Tiger King, and we'll all be on there. Of course, I don't really, this kind of breaking news, I don't really talk about this a lot, but my partner's disabled. He is born with fetal alcohol syndrome. And then I take care of a 13-year-old boy. He's actually my cousin's son. And this is going to be our first Christmas all together. So we're super excited. Not going to lie, we don't really have much of a Christmas to go to. I mean, we have a Christmas tree built out of clothes hangers and very, very cheap small gifts, but we're trying to make the best out of it. So if anyone would like to help me out, book me on Cameo or send me a private message to help make Christmas good for my kiddo and for my disabled husband. He's 23, but he's disabled, and so birthdays, holidays, Christmas, New Year's, Easter, they get them really excited. And I guess the most upsetting thing is I lost my vehicle, and that basically lost my ability to provide for my family a good Christmas. So, but at the end of the day, I've had some good friends come through for me, and I got faith everything's going to work out.
So are you making no money right now? Are you getting no money from Netflix? You have no job? Nothing.
No,
Just
no,
literally just living off of cameos.
yeah, yeah. I had money saved back from cameos because when Tiger King first started, there was a ton of people didn't want to do cameos. Um, but beyond that, without a good reliable vehicle, it makes it kind of hard. So hopefully soon we'll be able to find something. But most places, even if you do get a job, it takes 2 weeks to a month to get a paycheck. So we'll figure something out. Everything will work out for the best.
So the last time we spoke, you said that Jeff Lowe and the federal government framed Joe Exotic. Now, can
They
you
did.
explain? Yeah, can you explain that for our viewers today?
Yeah. So Jeff Lowe knew that the one thing that Joe wanted most of all was to get Carol Baskin out of the picture. That's what Joe wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And so Jeff played on that, and he had his plant into the zoo, whose name was Alan Glover, as we all know, his employee, his friend, in the zoo, uh, set him up basically, get him to talk him into doing it. And then he set him along with James Garretson, Jeff Lowe, James Garretson, and Matt Garretson of the FBI, set the guy up. They did. Back in the day, they called it entrapment. Whatever happened to the America we lived in when it was not acceptable that the police can ask you if you will commit a crime, and if you agree to it, then but don't do the crime, you go to jail for it anyways. It's bullshit. It's wrong. It's wrong. He was clearly set up. He was clearly set up. The whole thing was a setup. Now, is he a nasty, mean guy? Yes, absolutely, 100%. And that's the thing that, I'm super excited for the Uncaged tour, because, once vaccines start getting in folks' arms, and this month and the next couple months, more and more people are going to be booking us. This Uncaged tour that we're going on, it's going to be amazing. we've got a merch shop up already. We've got a website up, and once vaccines start getting in people's arms, we're going to be going on the road, and we're going to be telling some serious stuff that did not make it into the story. And there's even some contention. I don't think John Rinke really cares much for me. I think he feels like I'm making money off of Travis's tragedy of Travis. I'm not. I'm sitting here broke, not even, trying to figure out how I'm going to do Christmas for my family. It's pretty disturbing for him to say that. But especially when every time Joe had an accident, or Joe was hurt, or Joe was sick, he would make a GoFundMe and raise tens of thousands of dollars. That didn't seem to be a problem for John Rinke when Joe Exotic was doing it. But when I do it, apparently it is a problem. And what's even more disgusting is when Travis did shoot himself in front of me, Joe, from pretty much that next day till the day he fled to Florida, and even after, when we were in contact on the phone, begged me to sue Jeff Lowe, now that Joe was separated from the zoo, to sue Jeff Lowe for basically causing my mental health injuries. Joe begged me to sue Jeff for monetary damages. So I find it extremely rich that people would like to say that I'm just making money off a tragedy. No, a tragedy happened to me. I'm just a normal guy. I don't make a ton of money. I was not paid by Netflix. And yes, if I need help, that's what social media is for. It's to reach out and it's to ask people for help. And if you got a problem with it, you know, just like Joe said, there's a delete button and there's 5,000 other people that want on my page. That's
So
really all I got to say about that.
did Joe Exotic want you to sue Jeff, and then also did Joe want some of that money if you did
Oh, yeah.
sue him?
Yeah, he said we'd work a deal out.
So he
Yeah.
was going to help you sue Jeff, and then also get some of the money that you got from the
In
lawsuit.
return for the money, yes. In return for the money I got. Yeah. Yeah. But I'm the bad guy because I totaled my car. You know, you know, I live in Oklahoma. If I lived in a blue state, if I lived in New York or somewhere, or California, I would do great. I mean, I live in Oklahoma, and I support, mostly libertarian candidates, but I did vote for Joe Biden. I voted for Joe Biden because I frankly felt like Donald Trump was a systematic threat to the fabric of the Republic of the United States of America. And I did not think that I would be able to sleep at night, not voting against Trump and voting for the person who had the best chance of beating him. So yes, I'm still libertarian. I'm a registered libertarian. I'm a dues paying member. My jeans are a little tight fitting, so I won't get out my national membership card. I'm a member of the state. I vote up and down the ballot, but I don't think people should be ashamed to get pigeonholed into thinking, well, I like Trump, so I should vote only Republican, or I like Biden, so I should vote only Democrat, or I like Jorgensen or Gary Johnson, so I should only vote Libertarian. I think we got to get out of that mindset. I'm out of that mindset. I'm a hardcore libertarian. I still say fuck the feds. I still believe that taxation is theft. But Donald Trump is a systematic threat to the very fabric of our country. And as a defensive vote, voted for Joe Biden. And I hope he does good. I know he's going to do a lot of stuff that's not going to make me happy. But he's not erratic. I'm happy with Kamala Harris. I'm not happy that she's a cop that locked people away for smoking exactly what I'm smoking right now. I'm not too happy about that. But you know what? When I was 16 years old, I was a Christian who hated gays, believed that God hates fags people. Now I'm a gay atheist living with a male partner who is a militant atheist. So you know what? Over time, people may change, but their views evolve, and that's all I can say.
Now, you mentioned that you're going to do this tour with Saf and four members from Tiger King.
Yeah,
right. You, Saf,
John Rinke, Saf, and then Barbara Fisher from Doc Antel, that worked for Doc Antel for I think, for a long time, well over 10 years. She was one of the folks that was grooming.
Okay, and basically the context of this tour is you're going to speak in front of audience members, and you're going to talk about things that were not shown on the Netflix doc series. Is that right?
Yeah, sure. And I mean, it's going to be contentious at some points, maybe, because like I said, some of us have different points of views. Some of us think that Joe should be out of jail now. Some people like me think that Joe should serve maybe a 5 to 10 year sentence and get out. I don't personally believe that people should be allowed to have tigers in their backyards, because what if that tiger gets out and it comes and attacks my family? What recourse? You can't sue for a dead kid.
Right.
So there's going to be some contention. There's going to be some laughing. There's going to be maybe some crying. There's going to be some joking around. It's a lot of fun. I know we did our first show in Cedar Rapids, and it was absolutely amazing. So, until then, it's just a waiting game to get some shows on the books. And I'm confident that once more vaccines are produced and people start getting vaccines in their arms, this show is going to take off. And there's more Tiger King to come. I can't say what platform, who's making it, but something big is coming, and it's coming soon.
What
So,
are some of the things that were not shown in the series that people will be surprised to know?
well, it's the negative side of them. It seems like the Netflix series just showed him as to be a positive person when he's not. He is a very negative, bad person, and I can't. I'm gonna have to. Basically, the tune of it is there were some allegations from various men who are, you know, older age now. There's been some allegations made that they were groomed from 16, 17 years old to be Joe's, partner. But, I don't know if anyone's going to follow through with that. That's just been something that someone approached me with. Like I said, I'm not going to say who or who they represented or if it's even going to go through, but that's kind of the gist of it, the dark side of Joe.
Okay, so he was bringing in young men to groom them to be underage men.
That's the gist of it. That's
to
not
groom
that's
them to be.
I mean, I like breaking news. I'm just trying to give you an idea of some of the negative things about Joe. Not necessarily saying like this is going to show up in this movie or this TV show or this documentary. I'm just saying these are the types of things that are about to come out.
Okay, and all right. Well, let me ask you this: what about Jeff, Carol, and Joe? When was the last time you spoke to any of them?
I spoke to Carol a couple days ago. I She reached out to me because she had heard I had an accident and asked if I was all right and wanted to make sure that I was physically okay and mentally okay. And I thanked her and I gave her my condolences for the incident that happened at her zoo, and that was it. That's usually about it. She just checked. I mean, we're not friends. Like I don't have like people seem to think just because Carol Baskin checks in on me and just Carol Baskin messages me periodically to see how I'm doing. That doesn't mean anything. That just means that she seems to be a nice person. I mean, I think we'll probably both agree that tigers shouldn't belong in people's backyards. Honestly, what are you going to do if you have, God forbid, kids in your backyard and next door to you, the person has a 600-pound tiger, and God forbid that tiger get out and come into your kid's yard and kill your 3 kids? What is going to be done then? You can't sue for 3 dead kids. You can't replace children. You can't replace life like that. So, I get that we need to preserve these species. I get that we need to preserve tigers, but at the same time, give me a break. These are exotic animals that belong in a more natural setting. And the millions of dollars that are being spent in litigation and suing one zoo and suing another zoo, they could help fund reserves in places where these animals exist, in India, in China and Russia, in these areas where these tigers live wild, and create reserves instead of spending tens and hundreds of millions of dollars, frivolously. It's just wild. It's just wild.
So you're referring to at Carol's Zoo a tiger bit off an arm of one of her workers recently, right? And
Yeah,
I mean,
I
is
don't
that
know. I don't know if it got bit off all the way, but there was an arm incident similar to Saf, from my understanding.
okay? Now, is that? I mean, how often does that happen? I mean, that's one that was reported. Are there a lot of these incidents that are not reported? Obviously, this one made pretty big headlines, but
Well,
is that
I can say for one instance, I'll give you a little snippet from the Tiger King, or from the Uncaged Tiger King show. Um, Eric Cowie, the guy, the drunk guy with the long hair, that was
mhm.
interviewed. Um, he actually got his finger bit off by a bear, while I was in the office, like right outside my window, right outside my door. And Joe made him save it, put it on ice, sent him to the hospital, and made him uh, tell them that he cut it off with a chainsaw. So, yes, I imagine that there are thousands upon thousands of injuries with not only tigers, but this instance was with a bear. It wasn't with a tiger, it was with a bear. But yeah, absolutely. These instances are happening all the time, and they're going unreported completely. Absolutely, 100%.
Why was there a bear? There's bears at that zoo too. There were.
Yeah,
um,
bears. They had gorilla. They had
Okay,
macaw, monkeys of
what kind of
several.
bear? Grizzly bear?
They had a black bear and a brown bear.
Did the brown bear bit his finger off? Is that what it was? Or
The brown bear actually died from liver failure.
yeah,
Sold marshmallow bags of marshmallows for like $5 a piece in the office, and they would let the customers feed the bears marshmallows. And I'm not a medical expert, but I'm pretty sure that they gave him diabetes and it killed the bear. Um, so it was the black bear that bit his finger off.
bit his finger off. Okay, so then what happened at Carroll Zoo is very common, where there's attacks all the time. This one happened to get reported because it was really bad. So there's
Well,
probably
also, and I think not taking up for Carol, but I mean, I think that it'd be a little bit harder for Carol to hide something like that because she's under so much scrutiny and has been for so long.
yeah.
Um, you know,
Now you think that Joe Exotic should get serve at least 5 years. So obviously you don't believe that he's innocent. Now Joe Exotic is asking Kim Kardashian to help him get a pardon from President Trump. What are your thoughts on that?
here's my thoughts. There's a guy named Ross Ulbricht. I might have said his last name wrong. Ross Ulbricht. He created the what is it called? Uh, what is that? Anyway, sorry, I'm losing it.
The
He
weeds kicking
created
in.
a web. He created a website on the internet where people were able to trade and sell things, and he created the site. And he's serving a life sentence. He will never get out. And he was sentenced when he was a young man. He's in there for creating a website. Yes, people will use the website for bad things, but he just created a website. There are millions, if there are not millions of nonviolent drug offenders for smoking marijuana, that are sitting in prison right now. They need pardons. People that have not harmed other people or creatures deserve pardons. Joe Exotic does not deserve a pardon. I have said from day one he deserves clemency. What clemency is where you get a lesser sentence. Your sentence is smaller, reduced, but you still serve a sentence. I have said from day one I think he deserves probably about 5-10 years, and I think that's fair because he had a gun in the office and he refused to get rid of that gun with anyone because he said it was, quote, Carol's gun. So he had an intention. If he had been diagnosed with a terminal illness or something like that, he would have went and killed her. So, he definitely did wrong. He did wrong.
To your knowledge, was there ever any bestiality at the zoo? Did Joe ever have sex with the tigers?
I only ever heard the rumors of videotapes existing, and I heard the rumors of those tapes existing even years before I even went to work for Joe. So, with all that being said, I can't just say yeah, but it seems so.
It seems as though Joe Exotic was having sex with the tigers. Is that
If not him, he was having his sexual partners have sex with certain animals. I believe so.
okay? Now, and you're saying that you've heard rumors that there's videotapes of the sex with tigers.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I've never seen the tapes myself, but the rumors were not just at the zoo; they were also at, around town. Just go to the store and I say, Joe has got a sex tape with animals, and uh, yeah,
Okay, but you've never seen
oh,
any beast yet? No, go ahead. But just there is rumors of that. Wow.
yeah.
Okay, and who has these tapes? These sex tapes?
Jeff Lowe claims he has them, but I imagine that since he already has said he has them, he can't release them because it would be illegal. Because I believe that's illegal, surely, right?
Yeah,
You
I
can't
don't.
do
Yeah.
that.
Wow.
So, I mean, that's assuming.
Okay, and then so what we can expect from what your the Uncaged series is basically you and three other cast members are going to be telling stories about some of the more negative things about Joe. In particular, you said one of the big things is going to be that he was grooming teenage boys to be
No,
his future.
no, no. The Uncaged tour, we're talking about the untold, what didn't make it into the Tiger King. The What I'm saying, I'm not saying anything. What I'm saying about the grooming the underage boys to become his husbands is there have been people reaching out that are interested in trying to ask that question. So I
Oh,
wouldn't. What I'm saying is I would not be surprised if something like that um, um, was to drop. I don't know if it'd be in a book. I don't know if it'd be in a I don't know what format. I don't know if it will even happen. But I can tell you that as someone who people have reached out to, that seems to be what people are really looking into.
okay. But what are some of the things that were
Un-
left out?
like I said, the story about Eric getting his finger bit off of the bear, and Joe making him say cut off with a chainsaw. Rinky's there. Rinky's free Joe and on the team, free Joe Exotic. So it's not all negative about Joe. And even for me, it's not all negative about Joe. I have great experiences about Joe. We just talk about the good times. We talk about some of the bad times. We talk about the stuff that didn't make it into it. And that's what the Uncaged Tour is all about. We have a Q&A afterwards you can purchase and do a live meet and greet with all four of us, get pictures, signed autographs. So it's really amazing. I just can't wait till vaccines start getting in people's arms so we can start this tour for sure. Um, but in the meantime, you know, I don't think
But
anything will come in the meantime, but keep your eyes peeled in 2021 because I have a feeling that this isn't the last we've heard of Joe Exotic.
and you haven't spoken to Joe since he got locked up.
Well, I was speaking to Joe when he was locked up, but when I refused to testify on his behalf, I uh, he stopped talking to me. And I refused to testify on his behalf because I was not going to lie in federal court, and I knew that the prosecution was going to ask me questions that were going to be damning to his case. No matter what good things that I could say about Joe to the defense, the prosecution would have really um, it would have been even worse on him. So no, I chose not to. He probably feels betrayed and hurt, and um, um, he probably hates me for it. But I'm not. I'm not going to perjure myself in federal court. I'm not going to send myself to jail for Joe. Um, who would not do the same for me.
But we can pretty much expect that there will be a Tiger King 2 on Netflix.
Oh, I don't know about that,
Oh.
but the story's not over. I don't know. I don't know about Tiger King 2 on Netflix, but the story's not over, and it'll be big. It'll be huge.
Now, Carol Baskin was on Dancing with the Stars. Have you been approached to be on Dancing with the Stars or another show?
No, and so everyone knows I'm gay, and I really want to get on RuPaul's Secret Celebrity Drag Race because, frankly,
Yeah.
I love me and my fiance. We love RuPaul, and I've frankly seen some Secret Celebrity Drag Race people. They're like way less well known than I think I would be. So I would really like to just, even if I could just like get a DM from RuPaul, Mama Ru, please send me a DM. That would just make my day. That would be the best Christmas present ever. But no, I haven't been approached by anyone. And it sucks because right now I'm tired. We've been moving furniture all day long out of the storage building into the apartment and getting rid of the rented furniture. It was just getting cost too much, but that's why I'm a little exhausted. Y'all could probably hear it. But anything to save some money. So it was kind of rushed to get on here to begin with. But no, I would love a chance to go and get on to any show, frankly. But I haven't been approached yet. But Mama Ru, if you see this, get me up on there.
We'll do our best. Okay. Now, you mentioned we talked about a lot of things about with Joe and having his sexual escapades. Now, did you ever have sex with Joe Exotic, and did he ever approach you about having sex with him?
No, no. I'm gonna try to get something to drink. I hope I'm not getting sick, but my voice is losing it. Shout out to Mountain Dew.
Mountain Dew, yeah.
If they want to send me a new car or something.
Yeah.
Here. Hold on. With my voice, I don't know if I can do it. So I'm back to the Velvet Underground, back to the okay, I'm gonna stop. Stevie Nicks.
Right.
Sorry.
Do you want?
Funny.
I'll re-ask the question. Did you ever have sex with Joe Exotic, and then did he ever petition you to have sex with him?
Never. No.
He never hit on you?
Nope, never.
No.
He liked
okay.
Yeah. I see someone's asking about high. Yeah, I'm smoking cannabis.
He's smoking weed right now.
Yeah, it's legal.
Yeah. Hey, Angela.
But mainly I'm losing my voice, and I'm exhausted from moving all day. Whoever that is, Angela. Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of get the tour if you like. So that's
all right. So you're too old for him. Okay. Now, I'll ask the question I ask everyone: How bad have the haters been?
Oh, the haters have been bad, but that's why I don't post on Instagram, and I guess I could get a big following if I wanted to. But honestly, the haters have been so mean, aggressive, and negative for my mental health that I rarely log on. Usually I'll log on to post things about the Uncaged tour, about my cameos, and then when I get the rare chance of someone offering me a chance to take a vacation, I like to post that, and that's about it.
Have you received any death threats? Have they been gone that far?
I actually had to move into this place. Why I moved into this place is because I had death threats.
What are they? What do they do? Are they finding your location and saying they're going to come kill you?
Yeah, I don't know how. Yeah, I don't know how they're doing it, but I've been sent mail. People are getting my phone number somehow, and I do not have it listed at all because I just got this phone, so I don't know how they're getting my phone number. So it's scary, and I have PTSD from the Travis incident. I was already bipolar, with anxiety disorders and schizophrenia. So everyone says oh, Josh is the most sane guy in Tiger King. No, no, I'm not. 6 days out of the week, I'm normal Josh. I'm brilliant, but usually about one day out of the week, I become a different person. So I may have been the most articulate person in Tiger King, but I was not the most sane because Saf and Rinky are a lot more. They got a lot more sane. I guess it's not fair to say mental health is insanity, but I mean that's how society views it. I mean I can't help that. My brain chemistry is the way it is. Um, that's not my fault. It's not my fault that a man chose to blow his brains out in front of me while I was at work. But it happened. And when stuff like that happens, it physically alters your brain chemistry. Um, and it messes with you in ways that sometimes you don't even fully realize until you've got to a point of no return. Luckily, I haven't got to that point of no return. But just everyone know there's help. There's always help. Right now, I'm doing ketamine treatments. This has been really amazing. The ketamine treatments, ketamine centers of ketamine treatment centers, wellness centers. Sorry, I want to get the name right. Ketamine wellness centers reached out to me. They offered me 15 free treatments. It's not covered right now by insurance for mental health, but ketamine in low doses administered over an infusion over an hour actually has really strong properties where it rebuilds your neurons and it reconnects those damaged neurons in your brain. And but yeah, there's tons of science out there. I mean, people can say whatever they want. And if they have something negative to say about my medical treatments, they can fuck off.
Okay. But are you saying but witnessing that suicide has made you schizophrenic? Is that?
Oh, I was already schizophrenic.
Okay.
The PTSD from the suicide.
Yeah. Gotcha. And then these death threats are just adding to it.
Oh yeah.
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 Okay. And they're mailing things to your house and then getting your phone number. And what are they saying when you pick up the phone?
They usually just about say, motherfucker, I'm gonna, and then that's when I hang up and block them. That's
okay.
it.
Gotcha. Okay, Josh. Well, yeah.
Yeah, anyone interested, I would highly encourage anyone that's dubious about ketamine, look it up. They also use it for pain. It's done wonders. It's not like a recreational dose where you're taking like 1,000 milligrams and tripping balls. They start you out at like 80 milligrams. Infused over an hour, not in just one shot, So it's not like you're just sitting in a doctor's office just getting fucked up. I mean, yeah, you're getting fucked up, but it's at a low dose and it's at a therapeutic dose. And there's plenty of science. Don't take my word for it. Go look at the science. There's plenty of peer-reviewed science from all across the world. So, judge me for getting a mental health treatment, but I encourage people, if they have the funds and they have treatment resistant depression or PTSD, look into it because it's really helping me a lot lately. I'm on my 7th treatment out of 15, it's been amazing.
Awesome. Okay. Well, let's promote what you're doing. So where can fans best keep up with you, and where can they find the new tour with you and 3 of the other cast members?
Yeah, so it's the uncagedtigerking.com. And you can just find us on social media, Instagram, um, all the stuff. Sorry, I'm not Twitter, MySpace, if you still use it. All the social medias. Just look up Uncaged Tour, Tiger King Uncaged. You'll find us. But most importantly, talk to your theater, your local casino. Tell them you want the Uncaged Tour, so that way we can come to your city and you can see this. Because obviously, I know I haven't said a whole lot, and I know obviously every interviewer wants some breaking news, but you just gotta come see us in person to hear the crazy stuff we have to say. And I can assure you that it's a hell of a time, and you won't regret it. So contact your theater, contact your casino, contact any venue locally that if your COVID restrictions aren't bad, tell them you want the Uncaged Tour. This is really amazing. Like I said before, I keep going over this. Barb, we're all 4 different people. We have 4 different opinions. We have 4 different opinions of Joe. We have 4 different opinions of animal rights. We have 4 different opinions about Tiger King. And I just, I think that people are really going to love it. Especially if, people that are saying they're making projects like the alleged Nicolas Cage movie that's allegedly being made. This ain't over. It's not over. So there's going to be more to talk about. We just can't talk about it yet.
That's right. Joshua Dial, the man himself. Josh, thank you so much for being on the show today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Thanks for watching. Okay.